next guest, this is really very helpful. I think you'll be pleased to hear this for our college students, our collegians, is Tammy Nichols. Tammy Nichols is a state representative in Idaho now. She serves in the Idaho legislature. She's a mother, raising her family, small business owner, she and her husband, and she's been a longtime Phyllis Schlafly Eagle leader, our Idaho leader, and done a lot. And so first of all, welcome, Tammy. Great to see you. How are you today?
I'm good, Ed. How are you doing this evening?
Doing great. You know, we've got all these collegians that are paying attention. They're asking questions online on our platform, so we'll probably get some in. But Tammy, first of all, tell people, why'd you run for office? A lot of the folks collegians that would be in here would say, maybe I'll run for office someday. You ran, you serve. Why'd you do it? Well, you got a family or a busy life, and is it worth it? And tell us about it.
Well, yeah, that's a great question. I get asked that quite a bit. And basically the bottom line is that I do love to serve. I love to serve the people in the area. And I've been raised to provide service, to want to serve people. It's been kind of inbred in me with my church and just my family in general. But I really saw a need that the people in my district did not have a voice, that they really weren't being represented well. And I felt that I could help maybe do that. But more importantly, I also felt that I wanted to help people to be able to get involved in the process. It's supposed to be a government by the people. And so those two things encouraged me to take that leap and to run for office. It's not for the faint of heart, though. It is not the easiest job. You get the good, bad, and the ugly all mixed together, but it's definitely worth it. And so that's one of the reasons that I ran.
And you're in the legislature, and I've heard the stories for a couple of years. All of a sudden, conservatives aren't doing what they're supposed to. Maybe Idaho's now getting too many Californians moving there. But maybe what are the top three issues that the state faces? Whether it's the intrusion by the federal government, which has happened, whether it's the weak-willed so-called conservatives. Name two or three issues that are you're facing that people might be interested in?
Sure. Well, first of all, Idaho as a state is one of the fastest growing states in the nation. And so we've had this huge influx of people coming in from all over. I mean, yes, we do get them from California, right, but we're getting them from all other states too, because they see what Idaho has to offer and they like what they see. And what they probably currently have in their state is not as appeasing anymore. Right. So they're trying to find so they can go to where they can raise their family and have a better life. And so Idaho does have a lot to offer that way currently. But yeah, so growth is going to be an issue. Taxes are also a big issue here in our state, and have been. Even though we are lower compared to a lot of other states, for our state in general, it seems high to us. So we need to figure that out. And just with the whole COVID thing going on, there's some changes that need to be made as far as the governmental process and the branches of government, and not giving too much control to one branch in particular. And that there's decisions being made with the legislature as well as the executive branch, and that we can do what's best for the people in Idaho. So those are some of our top three issues.
We're talking with Tammy Nichols, and it's nicholsforidaho.com, right? Nichols, nicholsforidaho.com. You can find out more about Tammy. Tammy, one of the issues that we haven't talked about for our collegians and that's one of the reasons I want to make sure we talk to you about this issue, because Idaho is facing it, is the transgender issue. And it's kind of swept across universities and schools, the idea that boys that identify as girls are going and playing sports and taking all the prizes and dominating the field. Tell us what Idaho's done, where things are, and how that issue is playing out.
Yeah, so we are seeing that happening. It has been going on for the last few years, and there's been a surge, it seems like, in kids wanting to transition for whatever reason to the opposite sex that they currently are. And so we're seeing boys dominating in girls' sports. And that's been unfortunate because, girls in the past have had to work really hard, first just to be able to compete in sports, and secondly, to be able to maintain their positions in the sports world. And so we have these boys now that are competing, biological boys that are saying they're girls, now competing in girls' sports and are dominating the game. And so these girls that have worked really, really hard, and I'm a mother of a daughter, so I can understand this, but these girls that have worked really, really hard are now losing out on lots of opportunities, including scholarships and more athletic opportunities, being able to go to different colleges. But we're also seeing this in the high school too. So it's really unfortunate because we shouldn't be putting our girls in this situation. They should be able to participate and practice and work hard like they've been doing, and know that they're going to have a fair playing field to be able to compete on. So Idaho passed a law that basically said that biological boys need to play on biological boys teams, and that they can't go over into girls sports. It's to protect the girls, biological girls. So that went in. It was signed into law, and then a lawsuit came about because of it. And it went through the court process. And I had the opportunity to talk to Secretary DeVos the other day, and she said that, and I asked her what was going to happen as far as the educational aspect of that went on the federal level. And she said that it was going to be handled by the Department of Justice. And so that's unfortunately, it looks like it's probably going to not end well for us this time, but it doesn't mean that we're going to stop. So, and we'll continue to work on protecting our girls so they have fair play in sports.
I'm getting some questions, and our folks are on our platform here for Tammy Nichols. One of these, and I'll put two of them together, was what's the best way for a college student to connect with his elected officials? Someone else put, how do they get your attention? If you're an elected official, you got all kinds of people that are trying to get you. Got the governor's office wants to talk, your county chairman wants to talk, your business people want to talk. How does a college student get your attention?
Yeah, so you know what, I don't care what their age is or what, how old they are. Even an 8-year-old can get my attention if they really want to. I want to hear what everybody has to say. But I tell everybody what they need to do is that they need to participate in the governmental process to begin with. And I don't care how they go about doing that as far as getting our attention. We're lucky in Idaho that we have a very open door policy down at the Capitol when we're in session. People can come and make appointments. They can come and sit in on committee meetings. There's lots of opportunities for the people here in the state to be able to participate. But people need to reach out to their elected representatives. They need to ask them questions and find out about who these people are, because when it comes to election time again, you have to get to know your representatives so that you know who you're going to vote for, and find out where they stand on issues and what their voting record looks like. That's even more important, because people can tell you all sorts of things, but you got to actually look at what kind of action they've taken. And so write them, talk to them, attend meetings. There's, I know that it's called different things in different states, but here in Idaho, we have central committee meetings with precinct positions that people hold, and it's an elected position. But get involved just at any level that you can, whether it's local or state, it doesn't matter. But get to know the representatives that are in your area and keep in contact with them. You can call them usually, email them, find them on their social media accounts, but whatever you need to do, just keep in contact with them.
Tammy, I was earlier in the Collegians Summit, and you've been a part of this before, where we have our in-person. We spend 3 days with the college students, and there's a lot of chance to build rapport and all. But I was telling one of our other guests earlier, Phyllis Schlafly wrote an essay, or a column, I guess it would be, in 1960. She was 36 years old, and the title was "The Big Things Are Done by Little People." And she's describing how in history, it wasn't necessarily the senators or someone that was that did this, or you didn't have to wait to be famous. And she gave these examples. 1924, a Chinese student in America mailed a book back to China about communism to the right person, the Dr. Sun, who was the father of the Chinese Republic. He changed his position. And then another example, in 1948, immigrant to America, a barber, started a letter campaign to Italy. And as you just said, and for our collegians, you have email addresses, you have phone numbers, you can leave a message for Tammy Nichols. If you're watching right now, you could, without me telling you, you could go and do a search for Tammy Nichols, Idaho Legislature. I bet you'd find her email address. You could send her a message that she'd probably get in the next 5 minutes, because it's on her phone, and say, hey, I have this question, I have this comment. And you'd be surprised how that kind of contact can make a huge difference to someone like Tammy who's responsive. Some of the people on the left don't care. They don't care what you say, and some people won't care.
Yeah.
But that's a characteristic. You have that chance if you want to take it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that even if your own representative won't give you the time of day, because I've heard of that happening, and that's unfortunate because they're supposed to be representing their constituents, reach out to some of the other ones. You're going to find somebody that you can connect with that's in that position that will take the time to talk with you and to address your concerns or find out whatever it is. I mean, I have in my district approximately 40 to 45,000 people that are in my district, and that's a lot of people to try to keep tabs on, if you will. And so I get a lot of messages, especially during the session, but I try really, really hard to reach out and reach back and to, answer questions. And if I can't help them fully, I try to at least give them some direction or some guidance or something that they can do. The other thing I would say, as far as, getting attention, find organizations that are in your area that address issues that you're concerned about or what have you, and get involved with them, because those organizations usually do a lot of networking with legislators, and they will know the people, and you can help with the issue that you might have concern with, and you can also get to know the legislators at the same time.
It's great. Thanks, Tammy. You're getting a great reaction of our viewers, our listeners. Thank you very much. It's great advice. So we've got to kind of wrap things up now. So Tammy Nichols, go find her email address, send her an email. I'm sure she'll respond. So we appreciate you, Tammy. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks very much. Okay, everybody, we're winding